Hello, all of our Today Show All Day family. It is Friday the 13th, but we are feeling very lucky, are we not, to have everybody joining us, Craig?
Yes, we are, SG. That's because you're tuning into our digital show. We call it Today in 30, a half hour of everything that you need to catch up on our show that you may have missed earlier this morning.
And first up, the FDA's decision to authorize booster shots for certain Americans as a dangerous new wave of the coronavirus overwhelms hospitals in some areas. We're going to have a full report.
Also, after months of legal and public pressure, Britney Spears' father has agreed to step down from her conservatorship, but not right away. We're going to take a look at what that means for her fight and her future.
And speaking of pop stars, Ben Platt stopped by. We chatted with him about his new album, which is out today. And we even helped him surprise one of his biggest fans. And we are eliminating one worry as you send those kids back to school. Our friend Siri Daly sharing some great packable lunches that are kid approved. Oh, I love that. So no vegetables, I guess. Let's get this Friday started, shall we? Let's do it. Time for Today in 30. Now to that breaking news overnight back here in the fight against the coronavirus. As expected, the FDA is now authorizing booster shots for vaccinated Americans with weakened immune systems. And that decision coming amid a new wave of the virus with hospitalizations up 31% in just the last week alone. Some hospitals are now struggling mightily with staff shortages. NBC's Morgan Chesky is in Dallas with that. Morgan, good morning.
Yeah, Craig, good morning. And this really is a tough situation. This summer surge hitting these hospitals with unprecedented force. At last check, Texas and Florida now combined for 40% of new hospitalizations. And officials are now hoping this new booster shot can protect those who need it most. This morning, the FDA giving the green light to booster shots, authorizing an extra dose for those with weakened immune systems. The qualifying group is small, about 3% of the U.S. adult population, but the CDC says they make up more than 40% of hospitalized breakthrough cases. But Dr. Fauci telling Craig yesterday, booster shots for other Americans may be coming.
No vaccine, at least not within this category, is going to have an indefinite amount of protection. Inevitably, there will be a time when we'll have to give boosts.
The news coming as the Delta surge is being felt on the front lines. A massive spike in COVID calls stretching San Antonio EMS too thin.
Today, for 26 minutes, we had not one EMS unit available in the entire city.
And hotspots like Memphis, the sudden rise threatening the city's 911 system, now on pace for its busiest month ever.
When you may call for an ambulance and we may not have one available.
Now some cities taking new measures. New Orleans requiring proof of vaccination or a recent negative test at virtually all venues, including bars, restaurants, and nightclubs.
Don't look for the loopholes. Look for your vaccination card and be prepared to show it.
San Francisco going one step further, becoming the first city nationwide to mandate full vaccination for nearly all indoor activities. Meanwhile, the mask divide only deepening. In Florida, a mask-optional school facing consequences on day 2.
So we finished the second day of school with 440 students in quarantine, stemming from 51 cases of staff and students.
Now, to be clear, this FDA approval is not the final go-ahead, but it does pave the way for the CDC to make an official recommendation, and that's what doctors need before they can start giving those shots to the immunocompromised patients. Craig?
About 3 million of them. Morgan Chesky for us there in Dallas. Morgan, thank you. Now to big news in Britney Spears' ongoing legal battle with pressure mounting. The pop star's father now says he is willing to exit the conservatorship that controls her life and estate, although not immediately.
In a moment, we're going to talk with one of the journalists who played a major role in mobilizing public support for the so-called Free Britney movement. But first, NBC's Aaron McLaughlin is following the story for us and the latest court developments. Hi, Aaron. Good morning.
Good morning, Savannah. After months of public and passionate legal drama, Jamie Spears told the court yesterday he's willing to step down as his daughter's conservator following what he calls an orderly transition. While it's welcome news for Britney Spears and her fans, the fight is far from over.
This morning, Britney Spears may be one step closer to freedom. According to a new court filing, her father, Jamie, says he's willing to step down as her conservator when the time is right. For the past 13 years, he's been part of a conservatorship in charge of Britney's $60 million estate that was put into place after several public breakdowns. The unexpected development comes just weeks after Britney's new lawyer petitioned the court to have her father removed. Jamie's lawyer is writing in part that he does not believe that a public battle with his daughter over his continuing service as her conservator would be in her best interests. The pop star's lawyer, Matthew Rosengart, called the decision vindication for Britney and asked Jamie to step aside immediately, adding, "We look forward to continuing our vigorous investigation into the conduct of Mr. Spears." Jamie Spears' lawyers did not provide a timeline for what they call an orderly transition and maintained that he saved Britney from disaster, supported her when she needed it most, protected her and her reputation from harm, and facilitated the restoration of her career.
Things are way better than what I ever anticipated.
Her father's latest filing is widely seen as a win for Britney, who's been active on social media during the ongoing legal process. The 39-year-old singer speaking out during an emotional hearing in June, pleading for her 13-year conservatorship to end, alleging she's been forced to perform, take antidepressants against her will, and was prevented from removing an IUD meant to prevent pregnancy. He loved the control to hurt his own daughter. 100,000% he loved it, she told the judge. Jamie remains in charge of Britney's finances, but has not been in control of her personal affairs for the past 2 years, and insists he had nothing to do with his daughter's alleged poor treatment.
Once Jamie Spears actually steps aside, what does that mean for the Free Britney movement?
It means that she's a step closer to truly being free, but only one step. Remember, Jamie Spears steps aside, another conservator takes his place.
The legal battle over the timeline for Jamie's departure is just beginning. He's contesting Britney's petition to immediately remove him. The next status hearing is scheduled for late September. Britney's lawyer saying he looks forward to taking her father's sworn deposition in the near future. Savannah.
All right, Erin McLaughlin out in Los Angeles for us. Thank you. And we want to bring in Liz Day, a New York Times journalist and co-creator of the Framing Britney Spears documentary. Liz, good morning to you. It's good to see you.
Good morning.
You've been on the story a long time. Were you surprised at this court filing in which Jamie Spears says, not immediately, but eventually he is willing to step aside?
I was really surprised. This was the first time that Jamie publicly has said he's willing to step down. That has never happened before.
But he was defiant. I was really struck by a particular paragraph in the declaration. It said, if the public knew all of the fact of Ms. Spears' personal life, not only her highs, but also her lows, all of the addiction and mental health issues that she has struggled with, and all of the challenges of the conservatorship, they would praise Mr. Spears for the job he has done, not vilify him. What did you make of that?
Yes, his defensive tone was very clear throughout the filing, and he also took a lot of attack towards Britney's mother, Lynn, who recently has been supporting Britney in court.
So what do you think happens next? Because even if Jamie Spears eventually or ultimately is out of the picture, the first step is to bring in a new conservatorship. She still has to fight in court, does she not, to get out from under this arrangement completely?
Yes, if Jamie is removed, Britney is still under a conservatorship, so this is not over. And, you know, even for just Jamie to step down, we don't know when that's going to happen. He said when the time is right. And it appears as if he wants to resolve some issues surrounding their money and his management of Britney's money. But Britney's lawyer says he wants to depose Jamie, so there's really no telling how this is going to end.
And at last check, we hadn't heard much from Britney in light of this latest information. How do you think this plays out with her and the big question whether or not she decides to start performing again?
Yeah, so Britney had said in court filings that she is no longer working until her dad is removed. So if her dad is gone, does that mean Britney is going to start performing again? You know, a lot of people hope so.
All right, Liz Day, part of that documentary that really broke open this case in a big way. Thank you very much. We appreciate your time. And we're back with a powerful story on a really remarkable man, a high school coach using his skills in football and in life to change the lives of his players.
Yeah, that's right, Savannah. And it's all happening in a community just devastated by gun violence and racial inequality. In Algiers, it's down in New Orleans, the life expectancy there 10 years lower than the national average, due in large part to its murder rate.
The new book, Across the River, puts a spotlight on a coach named Bryce Brown and his inspiring approach with the teenage players who grew into men while sporting his purple and gold jerseys.
Delivers a deep ball. Touchdown call.
On the field, Bryce Brown is coaching Edna Carr High to multiple state championships. Off it, he's saving the lives of the young men proudly wearing the Cougars' purple and gold.
He way more than the coach, you know. Half our conversations never be about football. It'd be about life and what we're gonna do after high school.
Quarterback, speed object.
Off the field, he tell you you need me, anything you need, I'm here for you. You could call me anytime, come through. I'm gonna be there for you no matter what. And it's not just to me, it's to everybody on the team.
We're not just about ball. We're about saving lives. And I think the most important thing is that when you're saving lives, you can't get tired of doing it.
In the new book, Across the River, Life, Death, and Football in an American City, author Ken Babb follows the Edna Carr Cougars as they chase a 5th consecutive state championship while also navigating one of the most dangerous communities in America, the Algiers neighborhood of New Orleans.
The players that Bryce coaches are a demographic group, young black males, who are 56 times more likely to die by gunfire than the national average. These are young people under siege, and he teaches them purpose, self-worth, confidence, that they're capable of amazing things, but first they have to survive.
Life expectancy here is 10 years lower than the national average. In a city where violence is a reality, Brown says vigilance is a responsibility.
What are some of the dangers that these young men are up against?
I have kids who've been shot. I have kids who attempted to sell drugs before and need to be talked out of it. We have kids who are living below the poverty line. We have kids who live in homeless situations.
How have you managed to reach these young black men when so many others have not been able to?
I think the first key is honesty. You have to have honest, tough conversations. You have to reach those kids first in order to teach them.
When you're a teenager, a high school student, especially on this side of the river, you don't necessarily think you've got that many options. Bryce and his staff and the Carr program teach you that you have tons of options. You have all of the options, and that you're worthy of those options. And then they teach them how to go get them.
One of those players Brown coached is Ronnie Jackson.
And it's bigger than football with him. It's more about life.
A standout running back, he's escaped shootings and has lost family to homicides. Coach Brown mentored him, even provided meals as he worked his way toward a scholarship and a life beyond Algiers.
Most players, like myself, it was hard to get a meal. I was scraping up trying to make sure I could get a meal at night so I could put something in my stomach, but Coach Bryce made me never feel like that again, He made sure I was always fed, taken care of, not just to me, but to, anybody that was on the team that needed help or needed love or who didn't have a father figure in their life.
With every young life and future precious, the possibility and occasional reality of failure weighs heavily on Coach Brown.
By no means will I sit here and tell you that we've been 100%. We've made mistakes and we've lost some and we weren't able to reach. But that doesn't stop our drive. That doesn't stop our purpose.
And while trophies are a tangible measure of success, the tenacity of Coach Brown and his players is the ultimate victory.
We still putting kids in college. We still saving kids' lives. We still doing our mission and we're doing a good job at it. I think that's the reward in all of this. And it keeps that fire burning in you.
A lot of students, actually look up to Coach Bryce. Even ones who don't play football, they look at him as a real leader because his attention and his attitude when he come at you, you can feel the love and you can feel the caring.
Hey guys, it's Ben Platt, and you are watching my favorite digital show, Today in 30. Stick around and watch my interview.
He's the Emmy, Grammy, and Tony winner. Ben, good morning.
Good morning, guys. How's it going?
Great.
Well, we're doing great. Better to have you here. Thanks so much for joining us. Of course, this is your second album. First one, Sing to Me Instead, came out 2 years ago. So This one, obviously, there's been growth, there's been change. We've been through a pandemic. How did that affect the output of this album?
You know, I think I was living at home, as I said, during the pandemic, and I got super inspired by being back in my kind of teenage space and seeing all of my old posters and everything and reverting to my teenage self, sort of. And then at the same time, I feel like many people in the pandemic felt this, but my perspective and kind of priorities totally felt like they shifted in this time, and I felt a bit more kind of evolved and adult than I've ever felt before. So I think the like kind of mixture of those two worlds is where the album really came from, and I think I felt a lot freer to express the kind of music that I really love to listen to nowadays. I think, you know, I spend a lot of time making more kind of theatrical, emotional music, which of course I deeply love, but I think that this new kind of freedom allowed me the chance to really express a bit more of the pop side, a bit more of the kind of Peter Gabriel, Phil Collins, George Michael of it all.
Absolutely. We were so excited when you announced this morning that you're going on tour starting in February. I'd imagine when you're on tour, I mean, seeing people dancing along with you, kind of like you and Al were doing during the commercial break, you know, I'd imagine it brings some excitement and, you know, especially to the stage. Besides that, what are you most looking forward to?
First of all, that's the best footage I've ever seen. Second of all, that's my favorite place to be is on stage. I started working when I was 9 years old, and I've been on stage ever since. And it's kind of weirdly my safe space and where I feel the most comfortable and at home. And I've been dying, like so many of us, to get back on there because it's, you know, we've been deprived of live performance this year. And so I'm just thrilled to get back and have that communion with my fans and with people in person live. And most especially, I'm very excited to play the Hollywood Bowl, where all of my performances this morning have been filmed. Because I grew up in LA and it's a very special venue here. And my first ever job when I was 9 years old was playing Winthrop in The Music Man, which is a musical that they did at the Hollywood Bowl. So it's a very kind of a full circle moment to get to play my own music there. That's awesome. Well,
You know, Ben, we actually put out a call out to some of your biggest fans. We've got tons of submissions, but one in particular stood out to us. So I want to bring in Catherine Smith. Are you there?
Yes.
Catherine, you know, you think you're one of several fans selected to watch Ben with us today. But first, I just want to ask you, what's it like to meet Ben Platt? Catherine, Ben, Catherine.
Hi, Catherine. Nice to meet you. How are you?
I'm about to start crying. I'm so sorry. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's so nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
That portrait behind you is so gorgeous. Thank you for making that.
Yeah, I did.
Also, your nails are fantastic.
Wow, that's terrific, Catherine. Tell us about the painting, Catherine.
Sorry. Yeah, I did this a few years ago. Actually, like 2 years ago. I did it right after I saw your tour, the Sing to Be Instead tour in Boston, and I just wanted something like special to hang on my wall, and you're my favorite person ever, so.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. It means so much to me, and I so appreciate that you made some art after seeing some of my art, and that's all I could ask for, so I really appreciate it.
And in fact, Ben, you've got something that you wanted to say to Catherine for being such an amazing fan.
Yeah, well, I figured, you know, you came to the Sing to Me Instead show, and I would love to give you some tickets to come to the Reverie show as well, if you'd like to. The tour is going to be February to April, so whenever I'm coming near you, I would love to have you, and we can hang out and say hello there in person finally.
Thank you so much. I'd love to come.
Oh my God.
Of course. Okay, I'm so glad. I'll see you there. We'll dance. We'll smile. It'll be amazing.
I'm so excited. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, this is so cool.
This is what I love about our show. Ben, thank you so much for helping bring Catherine some joy and our viewers as well.
She's happy to be sad. These are happy tears.
Yeah, very much.
Much as we want to slow down summer, kids are starting to head back to school. So if you're already singing the Lunchbox Blues, you know how that song goes. Our friend Siri Daly is here to help.
She is, of course, a mom of 4, so you know she's packed a lunch or two. She's come up with some kid-approved
sandwiches, and snacks. Hey, Siri, good to see you.
Miss you.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Wait, I don't know that song, Jenna. Can you sing the
Yeah, it's like the Lunchbox Blues. Oh yeah, I've got the Lunchbox Blues. You don't know that one?
That like Bring Around Rosie
but that
into
was
the Plague
beautiful.
song?
Yes, exactly. Okay, Siri, first of all, are you packing lunchboxes all the time with 4 kids?
I am. I mean, so far, Goldie, doesn't need a lunchbox, but I do have to do the other 3, and it's a lot. But especially because they all have different, picky appetites, and so I'm making basically like 3 different lunches. But like I said, I never would. But that's what I'm doing.
Now, what do you have in front of you there? Because we're jealous. I'd love to have one of those grilled cheese wraps in my little digits.
We're gonna start with a grilled cheese roll-up or burrito, like Jenna likes to call them. And these are really fun and easy because you can dip them, and every kid likes to dip. So I take some whole wheat bread, and the crust is removed because no kids like crust. I don't even really like crust. And then I'm gonna take a rolling pin because this is just gonna help when you roll it up to keep it nice and compact. If you don't have a rolling pin, I'm sure you guys could find a bottle of wine. Sure. That would work too. So you just roll it out and then grab your cheese. I like to use Munster, American, cheddar, any cheese that will melt well.
What is that, a cheddar?
Yes, this is a cheddar.
I like how
and then
it's
you're just gonna. I have some butter. This is not a cheddar. This is a Colby Jack.
Oh, that's right.
Yes,
Colby
I'm
Jack.
sorry.
I knew it was
yes. Yeah.
So you like
know your
butter
cheese,
on your
Jenna.
grill? Yeah, I sure do.
You have to put butter on it.
Well, some people mayonnaise it. It's a very controversial.
Some people do mayonnaise it.
No, I do not. I like butter, but some people like mayonnaise.
I mean, you could use both too. It's just the mayonnaise is just going to really make sure that you get that golden brown crust. I guess
that's a great tip.
It's just another like kind of fat content. Okay. So look, we roll them up. We just stick them in. I actually put more butter into my pan too, and they just cook for 4 or 5 minutes. And they get super nice and golden brown. And you can throw them. I mean, it depends on if your kids will eat things warm or cold, but I like to put them in a little, thermos. This is by Built. So yeah, this is Built, and then you can, throw them into.
But
I have
if you put
lots
it in
of
that
fun
thermos,
products.
it stays warm all day.
It'll stay warmer. Yeah, this is another really awesome lunchbox Hydro Flask makes. So it all fits in there. And here they are when they're all finished.
Boy, those look good. I sure wish I had one, Jenna.
Me too. Unfortunately, we don't have something, but I'll trade you Fritos for some Ruffles.
I'll trade you for my little juice box here.
Okay, Okay, good.
Great.
You're giving me the juice box for my Fritos?
Yeah, I won that deal.
You sure did. Okay, so the next one, this is a really cute little snack. You made these kind of things.
This is my favorite. I actually eat these all the time. I eat them for breakfast. They're called protein balls, peanut butter protein balls. If you can't use peanut butter at school, you could use like a sunflower butter. But these also make a great after-school snack. And so here we go. This was my friend Megan, who's a dentist. This is her recipe, so you know that they're healthy because they're dentist approved.
Sure.
Halloween.
9 out of 10 dentists. Yep.
Right, 9 out of 10 dentists. Okay, so we're going to start with 3 cups of oats. This is so easy to make because you just throw it all in a bowl, and it's actually really fun for your kids to help. They like to, because you get kind of messy, you got to roll them into balls. A cup of peanut butter and honey. That's the only sugar here. So again, dentist approved. My kids always make fun of me. Honey, and then like 2 scoops of protein powder. These are really good for my daughter Etta, who's like literally eats Skittles, not dentist approved. A little bit of water, and then some cacao nibs, which I had to like Google that because I didn't know how you cacao.
Is that just like a chocolate chip?
Yeah, it's like a raw dark chocolate chip.
Will you just show us those made balls? Those balls.
So good. Balls. And you could throw them in. It's early here. Like another little. This is from Planet Box.
And those keep them. They keep them nice and round.
Will you FedEx us
I like to
some
keep
of
them in the
those? They look
freezer.
great.
Yes, I wish you would send us some of those cheese burritos next time you come.
Burritos. It's not what they're called.
I will send you the cheese burritos.
The cheese wrap burritos. Okay, well, we love you, Siri.
Thanks,
and we
Siri.
miss you.
Say hi to everybody.
Love you guys.
Yeah,
okay.
Happy birthday, Poppy.
Oh, thank you.
Big party today. Big party.
Okay.
Well, I hope you stick around for next week. You got to see Hoda, Craig, Al, and Carson filling the role of summer camp counselors for a group of eager kids. How did I miss that one?
What could possibly go wrong? What could possibly go wrong? We'll see you. We'll see you on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Hey, thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Find your favorite recipes, celebrity interviews, uplifting stories, shop our favorite deals, and so much more with the Today app. Download it now.